Hey Internet Super, I had a terrible idea. What if, just hear me out, we built a city on the sun, not near the sun, not orbiting the sun. I mean right on its fiery, nuclear, plasma-drenched surface. I know what you're thinking.
Dude, that's dumb.
To which I say, exactly. That's why I did it. So let's see how long a city can survive when built on humanity's favorite death lamp. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. Before we start laying bricks on a ball of doom, let's understand what we're working with. The sun is a giant ball of gas. It's not solid. It's mostly hydrogen and helium held together by gravity and powered by nuclear fusion in its core. That core, roughly 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, that's hot enough to vaporize your soul. Even the surface, which is really the photosphere, not a solid crust, burns at 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hotter than a hot pocket straight out of the microwave. There's also the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere, which randomly decides to be millions of degrees hotter than the surface for no good reason. Physics still argues about it. We don't ask questions here. In short, the sun is a Step 1. Location. Where on the sun do we build? Answer, doesn't matter. All of it once you're dead. But fine. Let's pick the equator, because at least we'll get consistent sunlight, as if that's a benefit. Step 2. Materials. What do we build with? Concrete, steel. Nah, those melt instantly. Let's pretend we have a mythical material that can somehow withstand 1,000,000 degrees, intense radiation, and the disappointment of your physics teacher. Step 3. Life support. We'll need cooling systems that can handle the entire wrath of a star. Also, air, shielding, gravity stabilization, because the sun's not solid, and a Spotify playlist that slaps hard enough to distract you from your impending vaporization. Step 4. Transportation. How do we get people to the sun? Easy. We don't. Because the second you approach the sun, you turn into a puddle of regret. Let's say somehow our city exists. It's powered by solar panels, cooled by future magic, and sits on a giant floating platform above the photosphere. People live inside domes with reinforced radiation shields. They don't go outside unless they want to get fried, but everything's weird. Sky, constant white yellow. Weather, no atmosphere. Just solar flares occasionally punching your Wi-Fi. Commute, mostly teleportation pods, and regret, and the heat. Despite all our shielding, every wall sweats. Everything breaks constantly. Repair workers are basically sacrificial heroes. At this point, even Florida looks livable. Remember how we used unobtainium? Well, turns out, even unobtainium has limits. A solar flare hits. Boom. Mass ejection of plasma. Our cooling systems buckle. The air filtration turns into a toaster. The city's power grid overloads. A vending machine explodes. Why? No reason, just chaos. One by one, the domes fail. First, the outer ring. Then the command center. People try to evacuate, but the escape pods melt like butter in a microwave. The city collapses into the sun like a poorly programmed Minecraft server. Game over. Can we build a city on the sun? No. Hard no. Even assuming magical materials and future tech, the sun's raw power makes it fundamentally uninhabitable. Nothing solid to build on. Too much heat, too much radiation. Theoretically, we could have solar orbiting habitats, satellites that soak up energy without touching the surface, or Dyson swarms. But actually landing and living on the sun, not unless we rewrite physics itself. Still, the idea is fun. The thought experiment forces us to think big. It makes us appreciate how hostile space isn't, how smart it was to stay on Earth. So what happened to our sun city? It melted, it blew up, but dang, it looked cool doing it. Would I try it again? Yeah, but this time, maybe on a cooler star, or like on a light bulb. Thanks for watching. Stay weird, stay curious, and never build a house on something that's actively exploding.